Hello everyone, for my presentation I decided to do stem cell therapy. So you're probably wondering, what is stem cell therapy? Stem cell therapy is the use of cells from blood to treat or prevent diseases and conditions. They are usually transplanted, and according to a 2014 FDA article, stem cells are unspecialized cells that are the basis of all tissue and organ cells of the body. There are three main sources of stem cells in humans. First, we have the embryonic stem cells. Second, we have adult stem cells. And third, we have the umbilical cord stem cells. Of course, we can obtain stem cells from anywhere, but honestly, I thought the umbilical cord stem cells stood out most to me, so I kind of wanted to look into that a little bit more. And as a disclaimer, I wanted to let you guys know that you will be seeing umbilical cord photos. So let's jump in, and I wanted to talk about the history. So historically, umbilical cord stem cells were considered a product of waste during the birthing process. Doctors and scientists thought its journey ended after the baby was born. Umbilical cord stem cells have unique properties. Transplants have been used since the early 1990s to treat children and adults with leukemia. To date, there have been over 35,000 cord blood transplants worldwide. Studies have shown that the umbilical cord blood contains 10 times more stem cells than adult bone marrow. And just to give you a little FYI, bone marrow is kind of the original stem cell therapy location. But according to a 2011 online article, Umbilical cord blood information for childbirth educators stated the first successful umbilical cord stem cell transplant was recorded in the late 1980s. The recipient was a 6-year-old boy from North Carolina. He was treated for a genetic disorder known as Fanconi's anemia at a hospital located in Paris, France. They used his sister's cord blood that was obtained at birth, and for more than 20 years after the transplant, he is alive and he's doing very well. In fact, it was said that his immune system and his blood were transformed for the better. Because of this boy's journey, the first umbilical cord blood bank was established in 1991 in New York. So, you're probably wondering, well, why is this important, and well, what exactly does it do? Well, for more than 30 years, cord blood stem cells have been used for stem cell transplantation to rebuild new, healthy immune and blood systems in the body. Currently, the only approved usage of cord blood, according to the 2014 FDA article, is for treatment of blood-related illnesses. Also, according to this article, it stated that cord blood is approved only for the use of patients with blood cancers such as leukemias, lymphomas, as well as some immune deficiencies, such as sickle cell and Wiskott-Aldrich syndrome. Cord blood stem cells can be used to transplant into people that need regeneration of blood-forming cells. When I first read that, the first thing that came to mind was cancer. So how exactly can cord stem cells and cancer go hand in hand? Well, with many cancer patients, chemotherapy is one of the top options for treatment. While it can be effective for killing cancer cells, it can also kill the healthy forming cells. If healthy cord stem cells were transplanted in cancer patients, it could potentially help regenerate healthy blood cells. So, just like you're wondering why is it important? Well, how exactly is it obtained? So after a child is born, the doctor will clamp the umbilical cord with a clamp just like the one shown in the photo here, and there will actually be a second clamp 10 inches apart from the first clamp. The cord will then be cut, separating mother and baby, and while their bonding experience will begin, the umbilical cord that is still attached to the placenta will make its new journey over to the lab. Here, a technician will insert a needle into the umbilical cord and will collect at least 40 milliliters of blood. Once blood is drawn, it will be sent to another lab for testing for possible infections, inherited abnormalities, and to figure out the blood and tissue group. After testing is completed, it will be sent to a cord blood bank where they will process the blood to remove the stem cells. Here, it will then be ready for storage. Now in storage, there are three options. We have a first option of public cord banks. They do not charge anything for storage. Any donation is available for anybody who needs it. They may also use the donation for research. A second option is a private or a commercial cord bank, which stores the donated blood for use by the donor and family only. It is quite expensive because they do charge a fee for processing, so again, removing the stem cells from the blood, separating the two, and an annual fee for storage. Commercial blood banks often bill their services as biological insurance against future diseases. And there's a third option. We have a direct donation bank. It is a combination of private and public. There is no fee and they accept any donations. But sadly, the stored blood can't always be used. If the person or the donor develops a disease later in life, and if it was caused by a genetic mutation, sadly, that has to be voided or it can be donated for research. And if there's blood/stem cells that are good to go, they can last for 15 years. They actually keep them frozen in a nitrogen, I guess, refrigerator, freezer sort of thing. So next, I wanted to talk about money. Let's talk about money. So the starting cost fee for processing and storing umbilical cord blood stem cells can be around $1,000 to $2,000. If using a commercial blood bank, the storage fee can be around $100 to $300 a year. Do you guys think it's worth it, or do you guys think it's a waste? Now moving on, we are going to talk a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages. So some advantages is the umbilical cord offers an easier and painless and also a non-invasive way to secure the stem cells. And it matches the recipient more closely, and we have the potential to treat a variety of blood diseases. There is a lesser chance of rejection, and there's a ready supply that does not harm mother or baby. Cord blood does not have to be exactly matched to the patient, like transplants from an adult donor. And cells in the cord blood release chemicals that actually signal the body to heal itself. So, of course, with advantages, there has to be some disadvantages. So the chance that a child will use their cord blood over their lifetime is between 1 in 400 and 1 in 200,000. But there is not enough to treat an adult with one collection. Again, remember there's only 40 milliliters that's being collected. Once transplanted, no more cells can be harvested from that source. Remember, cord stem cells are slow to engraft, which require more time to graft than bone marrow transplants. There is no nationwide system for collection and storage of donated cord blood. So real fast, I wanted to talk about some trials. Some ways that the umbilical cord stem cells have been used around the world can include therapy for infants with cerebral palsy and other brain injuries. They benefit young children with neurological brain injuries. And here in the US, it's been clinically used for adults with strokes. There are trials planned for multiple sclerosis patients. And in China, they are currently in trial for spinal cord injuries. So my question for all of you is, would you be willing to try this? Parents, or those of you who want children, or maybe those that this could benefit towards, would you be willing to do something like this? And parents, have you done something like this, or do you wish you would have done this? And that is stem cell therapy for umbilical cords. Thank you, guys.